This is episode 285. It's a large instrument.
This week, we're talking about Derek's new guitar and basically the what did you call it? The cultural what?
Shoot, I don't know.
The cultural victory. The cultural
that is-
victory that is Bill Murray, the band, not the actor. Although the actor's fine too.
Also,
I'm fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
In
do
this
you
case,
think
the
everything
band-
we said about the band applies to the actor as well?
Let's see. The way he has like so many sax solos, but it works. Apply to Bill Murray, the actor. Probably.
It's the tone control. See you in there.
All right. And
All right.
it's here we find ourselves in the Tone Control's first episode of February. We're ready to break down and recap the big game from last night.
All the big plays.
All the plays and the other. No, that's not correct. No, but sorry, that was a bad joke about sports ball. The real topic of the show, of course, will be
Derek's new guitar.
Derek's new guitar and neo gothic drama parentheses the rise of Billie Eilish.
You know what we got to talk about is Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, yes.
That's the topic.
Okay,
actually.
not a joke. That's not a joke.
That's for real. Yeah, I remembered after we recorded last time. I was like, God damn it!
Me too. Right before we recorded, we're like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about that. Did a whole episode like
completely ignoring that fact. Yeah.
No.
So
anyway,
yeah.
How you doing?
But I'm doing pretty good. I'm I don't know. I'm sitting here with my new guitar. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm like super jazzed about it.
Doing the new guitar life.
New guitar life. Finally, yeah. 6-month wait. But Novo number 2 is here. And let me tell you what. It's a bitch. Like it's a capital B bitch.
Okay, so tell me what that means.
Like it's just a mean motherfucker. Like
she's got a tail feather there. She's got.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look, you can see yourself in that pick guard.
I can see the.
Ooh,
it's the big rear end that I guess, and so we were looking a few days ago when this showed up. We got looking about, what was the scuttlebutt was like taking pictures. We're comparing guitars, but then eventually you realize that you need to line up the bridges. Then you get an accurate picture of what's going on.
I can confirm now with both Novos is they are big. Like they're just big guitars. Maybe only an extra inch or so in any given direction, but it adds up, and it's a little bit to suddenly be like, oh, it's a large instrument, but
That's what she said.
Cool.
Just getting it out of the way.
All right, you know what? Hang on, I'm just gonna. Good.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, it came in. I ordered this with some of my overtime money. Some people know I have a side gig. I teach on the side for the company I work for, but at the university there. So that's like a totally separate job from my real day job. And Beth and I talked about it. And I was like, hey, what do you think? Like every now and then, maybe every couple years, maybe. Kind of get something like really indulgent with my extra cash that, and she was like, yeah, go for it, whatever. So we talked, figured out how to just like plan this in 6-month wait. And we just made it happen, which I was like super stoked about. Cause like, this is why I have a second job, is to afford myself insane guitars like this. But anyway, here it is. It's,
that's a good way to think about it too. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's, I got my master's degree in order to do jobs like this, to afford me things like this. Like it's the whole train,
Yeah.
It's the whole line of, anyway. So anyway, this is it. It's the Voltour. It's the V2. It's the new one.
Yeah.
With like some different like top carve stuff and a different control layout. But otherwise, it's pretty much, it's the same guitar electronics wise. and it slaps.
I very very like that sheen and the
the
wood
metallic
grain
purple.
texture, the metallic purple with the wood grain texture and the
Yeah, it's a polished
very-
aluminum pickguard. And
yeah. that's a thing, isn't it? It's not like
I kind of
mirrored, but it's got this
reflective for sure.
It's got this look, you know.
You can see yourself in it, but it's not right. It's not as though it's not there. So, but
it's not a hole in the guitar.
Right.
What are we talking about here?
No, I mean it's not like a perfectly crystal clear mirror. It's not like flawless. But so the neck is the chunky profile. It has an ebony fretboard, which is something I've never like custom ordered before. Has jumbo stainless steel frets, and this like the neck size with the size of the frets, like there is everything to grab onto when playing this guitar. Like there's just so much you can like dig in your left hand and really like grab onto notes.
Yeah,
which is awesome. I think these might be like OEM Novo tuners, but they're they're like vintage looking, but not actually vintage style. So they're still string through tuners.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Instead of like
they have
down
the look,
top. Yeah.
but yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then the pickups are a staple P90 in the neck position, and it's a Lawler staple P90, and the Fralin unbucker in the bridge, which is splittable on this push pot. Bam.
Push is the way to go. That's
push.
Nice skinny ashtray bridge.
Yep.
Too. I
and
like
the chopped telly
right
bridge,
there next to that pickup.
right fucking there, because that's where riffs come out of.
That's where the riffs are.
Yeah, the chopped telly bridge, super beefy brass saddles. It also has a compound radius, which is another like newer thing in my collection. So excited to have that. And neck binding.
Do you think, and neck binding, do you think there's a best neck shape? You're going over all this stuff, like I'm kind of thinking in my head, like what do I think about all that? Like, is there a best neck shape, or is there does one of them become better? Because you said like down at the headstock, it's the chunky.
Yeah, so is it the neck shape, like the back of the neck,
is
where
there
the palm
like
is?
Right, exactly. So is there value in, because like radius has something to do with different play styles, right? So this is what's got me thinking. I'm thinking about neck shape, you know?
I don't think neck shape has much to do with playing style. Certainly preference, but not.
Okay.
It's not like you need a thin neck to play fast, but people like them to play fast. So I don't know. I mean, this is the second Novo neck I have, and I got the chunky on both of them because the first one was so fucking good.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah.
I was like, why mess with a good thing? I love it. So, my other telly, my blue telly that I like parts caster built has a super thin neck on it. It's like razor thin, surprisingly thin, and it's still neck dives and stuff and all that. But we talked about this a little bit in the past. Like that's the thing about that guitar, right? That guitar has a thin neck.
Yeah.
This guitar doesn't. Like that's the only way I'm looking at this stuff.
So you don't pick one of them up and go, "Oh, I wouldn't want to use this for this song," or
no,
and that one for the other song.
Not on the spec that is neck profile. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Other reasons maybe.
That makes me
like pickups or something.
Right. Yeah. Pickups, right. Pickups much bigger a difference. Yeah. But as far as like the feel, like, oh, comfortably playing this riff or that riff, this song or that song, it's not gonna like.
I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't run into that because I like to change my guitars around. I like to use them all. So like
maybe that's it. You're staying light.
Yeah, I think I just kind of keep my head on a swivel and But like I'll bring a guitar to a gig that I haven't rehearsed with.
You animal.
Is that a mistake? Like
Derek.
So, yeah.
What are you doing?
But anyway. But you know what I mean, though? Like, I know I'm not worried about that thing of like...
it doesn't concern you. I wonder, do people feel that way, you know? I've never
I'm
had
not
that
saying
many
a guitar that
guitars,
I've
so-
never played. That's not what I mean.
I
mean
know,
like
yeah.
a guitar that I just like haven't. Yeah. So I'll be playing this guitar at our next gig though. Anyway. So I'm hooked up tonight.
So live
There we are.
stingers then. I don't have to do
Yeah.
random. You can-
All right.
There we go.
I can't find my pick tin, so I'm playing a pick that I stole from Matt in my band. That is our band's alter ego band, Daddy Noises. I don't know if that's going to focus, but this pick says Daddy Noises
Might get
on
there
it.
eventually. Daddy Noises. So what does Daddy Noises play? Is that the
like
emo
yacht
night
rock
band?
mostly.
Oh, okay.
No, but actually, our singer Allison is going to be away for school starting later this year, and we're like, what are we going to do with the band? Like, what's up with the band? Like, are we this band? Are we a different band while she's gone? What should we do? Like, this could be fun. So now I'm kind of thinking like, when she's not around, we are Daddy Noises, and when she is, we are Blockbuster Summer. So I don't know. We'll see.
So is is Dad Noise? Is that Daddy Noises? Dad sound. That's like this is. I got the right thing in my head, right? Yeah.
Correct.
My daughter fucking loves dad sounds. She'll like sometimes she'll remember it. She'll remember that joke. Daddy, do dad sounds. It'll be like in the morning, it's like a Saturday morning. She comes in, jumps on us. It's like, oh, let's roughhouse. Oh, it's a little early for me. I got to stretch my back out, say a bunch of old man stuff. And then she'll like, oh, do dad sounds.
Yeah, exactly. You know exactly where we're coming in.
I think that sounds perfect. Yeah. The lady singer is on a sabbatical, and in the meantime,
pretty much. Yeah. Right.
Do you do?
We gallivant around as Daddy Noises while she's gone. No.
Does Daddy Noises just do songs by female artists?
We have not gotten this far.
Okay, because I think maybe, you know what I mean? It's like they're all a reinterpretation. This is my vision
we also
boarding
had this
right now.
idea that like we would be like our alter ego band is Daddy Noises with all 5 of us.
Oh,
and we get trucker hats with letters on them, DADDY, boom, right across the stage.
Yeah, this is very good.
You want to hear the neck pickup in this guitar?
Desperately.
I've never played a Staple P90 before now.
Really? So you've had this guitar for days, and this is the moment when you were like, you know what, I'm going to try this pickup switch. Derek, what does this switch do?
Huh? Why does it sound electric down here? But seriously, folks.
We have fun, but, be safe out there.
Yeah. I have P90s in my other Novo, and this one's pretty different. It's way more like Fender single coily, and kind of get like Telly neck pickup, Strat neck pickup gives me that. So you can do all that like friggin'. Right? It's got that kind of squishy, slappy thing. So I dig it. And yeah, man, neck pickups.
Neck pickups. They pick up your neck.
It's true.
Yeah.
The bridge pickup is super close to the bridge, which is something I like. I've determined. I have a couple other guitars where it's very close, and I like it.
I mean, if it's away from the bridge, in what sense is it a bridge pickup? We ask.
The first thing I noticed about this bridge pickup is how naturally compressed it feels under the pick.
Sounds very
Using
stable.
a bit of overdrive. Yeah. Is it worth mentioning this is a bolt-on neck guitar, if people are curious?
I don't know.
So that's the full humbucker. If I split that, I think this is a pretty convincing single coil.
impressively little tone change. Spectrum change, I should say. Like I can tell that it probably feels different. To you know what I mean? And you're talking about like the compressed feeling and stuff like that. But impressively little like drop in bottom.
Right.
Which,
right.
You know,
one of the things that old split coils use, it's like the floor falls out from underneath, and it kind of just.
Yeah, I have this. Looking at my camera, yeah,
the red one.
The red guitar has coil splits, but they weren't for that. They're these Well, I changed one of the pickups, but one of them they were these PAF things, and it totally like the guy who originally built the guitar, like there's no business putting a coil top in there. It was just like it was like a feature. It was like a tick box feature. You know what I mean? And they don't. Like it didn't sound good. Yeah. And I followed it. I changed the pickup, the bridge pickup to something hotter, for the sake of just having different sounds in my studio. And it. And I followed. I wired it up for the coil tap too. I didn't like unwire that, but it's such a mistake. It's like pointless.
Well, I was gonna say like to do a PAF and a coil tap is like. That kind of goes against a bit of what a PAF's doing, you know?
Yeah, it is. It is. And then the pickup I switched to was not any more suited to it. It's just very thin sounding and kind of weird and extremely fucking quiet when I split.
That's the other thing is they always used to get quiet too. Right. So now I've got a couple guitars. This is my third guitar with a coil tap. And as those guitars have gotten like the youngest of the guitars, this one has the best coil tap. Right. And before this was that PRS. Like that's still got a really, really good coil tap in it. And before that, it's like the Fender FMT. They're getting so much better now.
Coil tap tech has seen so many advancements.
Like what is going on?
Why is that?
And this is the unbucker. It is designed for this. Like that was the goal. So I don't know.
They hit it.
Sounds pretty friggin', I don't know.
Yeah, man.
But then if you do the middle position with both of those, you've kind of got a telly thing happening. But yeah.
It's still very warm and mid rangey for a telly. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
It is. Yeah, I mean that nasally. That kind of, I don't know. I can only describe it as sounding round. Like, you know what I mean? It's got a little bit of a versus. Oh God. If you're kind of like using other words for these sounds, it's like brittle versus smooth. What's the one in the middle?
It's just a slightly harpier version of the bridge. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, this guitar fucks.
Yeah, man.
And it's like dark, funky purple.
Yeah.
Metallic, dark purple. It's so righteous. I don't know. Looking at this next to the red one too, and this like wild blue one, I'm like, who have I become? Having individually, each guitar is like, oh, cool. Then you see a bunch of these together that have these like electric finishes. I'm like,
well, who
what
would
am I
you
doing?
Be if your guitars all had like the same theme, right?
I don't know.
If all of your guitars had the same, am I
an all sunburst guy?
Yeah, or right, or all wood grain, natural tones or stains or something. You know what I mean? It's just I get it. You want to know what you're playing, and how else would you know if you didn't make them wildly different colors?
Yeah.
It's the truth of it.
Another cool thing about this is because it's sort of in the like Explorer or Firebird type of shape.
Yes, I got that. Yeah.
It does that thing, kind of like SGs do this too a little bit, where this is why I was comparing the bridge line, I guess, because this guitar feels like it is more to my left, right? It feels more this direction
right.
because the bridge is like over this way instead of kind of back here. So I can't really see, but it just feels like closer that direction, which is weirdly making my left, of course, is making my left hand more comfortable. So it's like a weird side effect extended, of guitars that do this thing that, I feel like my left hand technique is better now while sitting anyway, but. Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling it the Purple People Eater.
Has it, no, that's all right. Preserve the mystery.
Has it eaten a people? Is that what you were going to ask?
That wasn't what I didn't ask it, so.
Okay. Yep. Here's the back.
It's also purple.
Also purple. Big, cool, like space age looking cover there.
It's that it looks like metal, like it's polished enough that it is mirror-like, but it doesn't look like a mirror. It looks like metal still. That's the thing that I'm digging here. And
I wanted it to match the knob skirt. Like these are the Dumble style knobs. They're kind of like a skirted hi-fi knob, sort of aluminum. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Fucking A. Well, wait, if you put it down, then I have to use my stinger button.
Oh, shit. Well,
I'm not going to make you
Good thing you got a button for that.
Good thing I have this here button.
Now, hit me with a stinger because I got a great segue for you.
Okay.
Okay. As we heard and can see with like the telly bridge, the chopped telly bridge and stuff on this guitar, it has those like twangy sounds available. Mm-hmm. This is a Bilmuri guitar.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like except it wouldn't. I think a lot of those songs are on probably baritones, or maybe he's got all that stuff in there. Get this. In the mix. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking that like, what tuning are these songs in? Because the lead parts feel like they're in standard, like they're up high enough with some of these kind of Nashville runs and stuff.
Where they might even be Nashville tuning. Like I swear I hear some Nashville tuning in there for sure.
Yes. So it could be really high, and then I'm like, the rest of the record's so low. It's got to be like a 4-octave split.
Yeah.
Or something insane, right? Yeah. But it turns out many of those songs are just in drop D. And it sounds like he's using a sub-octave whammy on most of the guitars most of the time.
So he just with effects?
You can just riff on it in drop D, and it sounds great.
He's just like, he's like drop B-ing his drop D.
It's like another sub-octave down, so double drop D.
Drop double D?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I'm sure I won't regret that.
So anyway, it was fun to like realize like, oh man, this thing has like the big humbucker sound, but also this like snappy little twang central thing going on. Like, what is that? But so anyway, we're here. I'm here to talk about Bilmuri with you because I'm still / like back on this.
Oh, I think. My kid's a little bit over it, but I think she's just mad because she wants to listen to like show tune soundtracks a lot, and I get pretty tired of it, and so it's like, not Wicked again, please. And so she's trying to throw that back in my face, like, Dad, you're listening to this like constantly. Can we please move on?
You're like, no, kid, because it rules.
Because it fucking rules. So it's funny. So when you first told me about this, you're like, this band, like, and it's this crazy amalgam of all this stuff, and you're telling me all the things, and all the things you tell me are correct, right? They're all in there.
Yeah.
But like,
makes you think about what part of the song is what.
Kind of. But also like at the time, and now I haven't heard it yet, right? So we're talking about on the show, and I'm imagining, and then I go to actually hear it. And I think what I came away imagining was a lot weirder than what this really is. You know what I mean? Like I was really picturing like, oh my God, like nobody knows what's going on in here. It's bouncing back and forth, but it's not.
Like it's some experimental thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's not. It is fucking straight down the middle of basically everybody can like this music. Like,
Yeah.
it does have all those things. You know, it's got the fucking like soprano sax solos in more than one song.
More than half the songs, it seems like.
It seems like, and it's fucking great in all of them. There's like trading
and they
riffs
tour
with the fiddle.
a sax player. Yeah, they tour with a saxophone player. Like it's that important to the music.
It absolutely
it's not coming
is.
off a track. You know, it's not, they don't tour with a bassist. Right. I can tell you that. So take that, bassists.
You're replaceable by a machine. Or maybe there's replaceable by the fucking...
Or by a saxophone.
Double drop D whammy pedal, apparently. No, but it's
I know what you mean, where it's like it's so up the middle, but it's also so not somehow. It's confusing to listen to, but you got to let your guard down with all of that. Yeah. And let it in.
What you can't have is any you can't have any ideas of like what music you like based on the name of that genre of music. That's kind of what I'm coming down to here. It's like if you try to say like this is this genre or something, and I think that's where all this is going. Like I know I don't want to be like this hipster, like I've transcended genre or whatever, but like my Apple Music doesn't know what the fuck to think about me. And it's like gotten over it. You know, it's like, fine, no big deal, right?
Yeah. No, I think but that seems like a maturity about music. I feel that. Like I've been listening to so much 80s and 90s hip hop lately. It's kind of, it's surprising me. But anyway, continue.
But now, so take that thought process about a person. Well, you're saying like this is like a maturity and sort of realizing, or sort of just being finished with the kind of teenagey, it's part of my identity thing. Like, because identity, people's taste in music is strongly, and I'm not saying this is like a bad thing, because a lot of people will get a lot of value and a lot of self-confidence and understanding about their world by who they are, you know? And there's a lot like, I know I'm not like that so much. Like I don't have such a strong like personality about my likes and dislikes that I am like, that I need to push it back
like
out.
It's your taste, like your curation of things. Yeah.
But I'm not saying that to say that that's like a bad thing for somebody to do.
Sure.
And people have, you know, way different personalities and lives, and there's a huge value to understanding who you are and all that stuff. So then like when I'm a teenager and like I am going through my music as part of my identity thing is helping me create my identity. Now I'm finished with that. I'm not saying that that was a bad thing. It led to where I am now and all that stuff, but I am finished going through that. And now I feel like I'm listening to this thing that was created by somebody who also is like, it's just whatever I felt like doing. And it's, and with utter skill, you know?
Yeah. I know what you mean about that. Like I feel the same way. I haven't put words to this, but this is the thing about this sort of thing. I've kind of been referring to those albums that were, you'll know what I mean when I say it. I'm calling them like my origin story, or like Essential Derek lore is this album, right? Like
I like it. Yeah.
If you're playing through the video game that is me, right? You'll stumble on like a lore tablet with Jimmy Eat World's Futures on it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I look at it that way now. They are still very, very important albums to me, you know, from those years. But I'm not. They are not my personality anymore. Like I don't pour myself into them. Occasionally I do, right? Like that's the thing. But so anyway, yes.
And their time associated.
I know what you're saying.
It's so interesting.
Of course.
Yeah.
So the thing here comes Bilmuri. Again, if you're not familiar, Bilmuri, just thank us later.
Honestly,
it's like I just don't know what to expect. And the first time I listened to this album, I was like cheering for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was so thrilled that it was like it kind of transcends this like meme status. We were talking about this before.
Right.
It's a meme, but it's not a joke.
Yes.
It's super serious, but not even in that funny, it's a bit, we're being serious kind of way. You know what I mean?
It's
very
it's all
sincere.
the things. It is a bit, but he means it. He is it is kind of a joke, but not in a way that's going to end. It's not a joke where ah ha ha that was funny. It's like joke
it's not
music.
a joke at
It's not
anyone's
joke
expense.
music, right? But it's from his kind of heritage, right? From the band Attack Attack, which what is this called? Crabcore. Crabcore, which itself is a joke about sort of the
metalcore,
the hardest metalcore part of the scene. Like they made the extreme versions of those riffs and those dances and stuff into a meme, and all the things that they did to that genre was self-referential and self-reflective, and it was that.
I see that here.
It was I think an evolution and performance of. I'm like going on a tear right now. But I think the crabcore genre was a evolution and maturing and performance of the idea of your music tastes as a formative part of your identity, as a performative and formative part of your identity, and being like, this is a show that we're putting on. You know what I mean? More than, because some music when it's being performed is a show, but sometimes it's a show, and sometimes it's I'm going to do this song that I wrote that I like and it means something to me, and sometimes it's a show.
Right. I think it's like the different lens you're looking at this through. Is it like the performing arts, right? Like you look at a band like Ghost or Sleep Token or Slipknot even, that are these larger than life characters, right? They're borrowing
the songs and everything are characters.
Everything. Yeah, the albums are characters. Like the latest Sleep Token, like there's all these figure drawings for each song, and Slipknot is literally a bunch of characters, you know what I mean? So you have all this other stuff you can sink your teeth into when you get into some of that. And that's awesome. Like that's what's so compelling about a lot of that kind of music. So there's more than just what you hear. It satisfies that thing of not making it your personality, but that it has a little more depth than just like my favorite band, like a band of people, a band of a few guys. So I don't know. That's weird to say. But anyway, I've heard it categorized as country core or as y'alternative.
I like country core. Y'alternative is very funny. I like country core a lot. And I think it's one of those cross sections that it's like once you hear it, it's this undeniable like, oh yes, of course, and
this is something that I was like, well, this is funny, like this, like the commitment to this, and the, I thought I was being too cool for it at first. I was like,
it's hard to know what to expect.
Right. And then I was like, no, this just like this is what I meant when I said things like it makes you think about the difference in like songwriting things, like what is arrangement versus like the song itself versus the melody and the harmony. It makes me think of those things because it's like he's got the song and then reconfigured all the instrumentation for it along the way. Right? Like those songs could be acoustic guitar duo songs all day. And they would be normal, and they'd be totally like, you wouldn't think twice about them. But the fact that they're acoustic duo songs with blast beats, right?
Momentary though, like, because that's the thing. Like I played this for wife, who is not gonna like any metalcore stuff, right?
Okay.
And the bits that become almost straight kind of metalcore stuff does so for like 4 bars, and I think that's
just enough to be like, oh, cool.
That's one of the expertises because it with this is there's plenty of metal in there, but it is in service of the whole thing. There's plenty of mandolin in there, but it's in service of the whole thing. And there's no moment where if you're a metalhead, there's no in my opinion, I don't know. There's no moment where you're listening to this and you go, God, I wish they'd get off of this thing. Like they don't dwell on anything in particular. And for, songwriting, pop songwriting form, he moves along, he doesn't repeat things too many times. He doesn't stick with the thing. He gives
the songs
it enough.
Are short.
They're short, but they're instantly stuck in your head, which means to me, it smells of expert editing. In that, in the sense of you got rid of everything you didn't need that wasn't essential to getting that song in your head permanently. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's at work we would call that a minimum viable product, but like not in the negative connotation kind of way. Like it's that stripping away of everything you don't need.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's all in service of the song. Which makes me think those songs, like they're good songs. They will stand to be covered in bluegrass, and they will stand to be covered in traditional kind of hard rock or whatever. But I don't know. That's my 2 cents on Bill Murray. But like, the
production style, though, being the glitzy Nashville level of sheen, is part of it. I don't think it works as well without that.
I agree, and I don't think it works as well without the whole like, I don't know what you would even call this. I remember it as a sort of like post 9/11 uber patriotism, like the image of Bill Murray that is like freedom, baby, and it's not in a modern day kind of way.
Okay. There's a bit to the even the historical context of that. I think was a little cringy, and I mean,
of course, but I mean, it has that sort of nostalgia about it.
It's kind of
that was.
I think it's. I would say it's like what that should have been if we were all like kind and sincere about it the whole time. It's like recently when Florida has horrible weather problems, right? A YouTuber I follow who is from Florida and constantly makes Florida jokes was doing his like, hey, been gone a couple of weeks because you know why, and like here's what's going on kind of thing. And it's like, and you know what? Like here's these people and here's the people helping, and just kind of pointing out the pride, having this moment of like, well, you know what, actually this is where I live, and this is part of what made me and stuff like that. And I think that it's like, this goes back to the meme but not a joke thing. Like he's leaning so hard into the flags and the gentlemen start your engines and mowing lawns. God. And that's it.
Mowing lawns, like all this like
lawns.
Mowing lawns and hot dogs and like it's like a 4th of July cookout vibe. Yeah, but again, it's because I think we long for it also, right? Like that simpler patriotism.
The patriotism that isn't an attack on someone else. Is that enough of the detail, right?
I was gonna say, like, I've been telling friends about this, like, you got to listen to this album, and I say in a time when it's hard for me to feel patriotic, I have Bill Murray. Yeah. Like it kind of like gives me a little, I don't know that I remember this, but like, So.
Right. No, that makes sense. It's the patriotic thing that isn't it's just
isn't
pride.
something that makes you feel a little gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just, last week or something published on YouTube posted on YouTube a whole set from their tour. Fully YouTube, like really well shot, like
suggested the shit out of that to me, and I keep setting it aside because I'm like, no, this is not a 5 minutes between things at work video.
This is watch like a feature length film.
I had to put that aside and come back to it. So
well, that's funny. They opened the set with "Proud to Be an American." Right. And it's like, whoa. And it kind of merges into some other stuff. And then here come the memes that, the gentlemen start your engines sound bite. Yeah. God. So anyway.
And we came to this because they got picked to be the opener on Sleep Token's tour.
Yeah, on Sleep Token's European tour in late last year.
We're exporting Bill Murray to Europe that way. And I can't think of a better representative.
I know. And so
all of that.
We see this when a tour is coming around, right? Some bands you like, and there's an opener you've never heard of. Like, well, it's probably a safe bet that it's for fans of the bands you're going to see. So like, you can kind of guess. Like, I'll probably be cool with it. So I like openers. It's a way that I find new music and new bands and stuff. I get excited before a gig to see some new band that I only just discovered. That's fun. So I was like, who is Sleep Token going to take on the road? Like, I'm really curious who that choice is going to be. Is it someone I know? Is it someone I don't? Like, and if I don't, I want to find out, like, is there another band out there that would satisfy me in a way that Sleep Token does? I was like really on that. Yeah. And I was like, Bilmuri, okay, noted. I got to look this up. And excuse me? Like,
there's no universe in which you see it and you go, okay, I know something is about to happen to me, right? Sleep Token has basically said, here you go, right? And
endorsed by.
Right. And I mean,
what can you say?
Sleep Token doesn't tell jokes. You know what I mean? This is what's also so good because I feel like this reveals so much about them because, again, back to the performance and the character and all this stuff, like,
fuck, look at us. This is solid gold. But you're totally right. Yeah. Like, it is that whole, like, this whole package that is the band, the music, the image, like all these things.
Yeah.
Versus a band like Foo Fighters, right?
Yeah.
The image is just Foo Fighters. It's just
the
rock
image
band.
is some guys, right?
Yeah, some guys in a band, and that works for like every band. Like, it's the default setting. It works,
right?
But a band that has like it's not even a bit. I don't even know what you call it. Like an image? No.
It's a world. The world building.
It's lore, yeah.
Right, which there's different versions of that too, because like Coheed and Cambria did that as well. And it comes out different because they still present as some guys, even though what they're doing is a world building kind of a giant thing that you can dig into or you can just listen to. Sleep Token taking it to the extent of the masks and hidden identities and all this business.
Well, I think the same is true for Ghost.
Yes, yeah, very similar.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that whole thing of like they're this sort of Satanic Panic era classic rock band almost, but they were around for like the British invasion probably. Like, they did all those like pop summertime songs, but then also turned into metal in their later years. That's what Ghost is. Anyway.
But Sleep Token, the thing they cultivate is not is the opposite of joking. And then they said, like, and we present, and so fun.
Anyway, this episode brought to you by Bilmuri. We just get paid to like go on a 30-minute tirade about great.
I love it. It's one of my favorite albums, and I haven't done is I haven't gone and listened to his other albums. Their other albums,
they're very different. They are very different, and I think this is the one he's really hitting a stride and like getting the most traction with.
Yeah,
but the other stuff is definitely cool. It feels a little more locked in time, I think, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd
be interesting. I will. It'd be interesting and it sounds like this is true from what you're saying, but the ability to sort of watch an artist, a technical expert in their art, right? Like sort of formulate that because I'm expecting expertise all the way back, but
so on the album before American Motorsports, I forget what it's called. There's a few moments on that album where you're like, oh, that's going to turn into, it's like a prequel. Like that's going to turn into that type of riff. You just add the fiddle on top, right? It's just, you're so close. So there's that sort of thing. But they're pretty different, but not in a bad way at all.
Yeah. This album is going to be a classic for me. I will.
I love that. I'm so excited for that.
Absolutely. And, you know, up with...
That's like, that makes me feel so good because like, Justin, listen to this band. And now you're like, it's solidified my life and changed my brain chemistry.
A lot of, you show me a lot of things that are fantastic. This one is next. This one is next level. And it's because of the songs. It's because of the production. It's because of the expert content editing, you know, of just cutting it down to what it needs to be, which is the general thesis of pop music, right? Pop music is this well-performed, relatable, yet interesting, and some, you know, even if it's a little off-putting sometimes because it challenges the listener, it's still draws you in. It's the repeating things, but repeating them without doing it too many times.
I think also this sort of challenges the listener to look past the initial layer of LOL, right? Because there is an initial like, haha, I get it, you know. But then like if you keep returning to it and it's less funny every time and more, I don't know, more better.
And you're just like, just like, yes, hell yeah, that riff, hell yeah, brother. Is it a self-test of like, if you... There are somebody, let me put it this way, there is somebody out there who is going to listen to this and they aren't going to get past it. They're going to go, well, I'm not a country guy, or, well, I'm not a metal guy, and choose to like that. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't.
Well, choose to categorize it maybe. Yeah.
And
I know what you mean.
And in doing that, they're not going to get past it, and they're going to be like, yeah, all right, it was cute. And they're not going to get there. And so I think it's a little bit of this like test, you know, are you... Where does your brain attach to it? Are you going to grab onto one of those things that's not what you're expecting or not in your usual thing? Like if you're somebody who's normally into half of this genre, are you going to attach to that? Or is this going, and this isn't going to make you suddenly like other country music or like other metal music. It's not that. It's a totally separate thing.
I think it's just like it highlights to me the thing of just appreciating. It's a exercise in the song, I think, mostly, but like paired with all of these like perfect examples, like you're saying, of instrumentation and arrangement and production and branding and all of these perfect things coalescing. Maybe it's right place, right time. I don't know, but I think it's going to age well. I have a feeling it will. It's fun. It's fun music.
That's it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It is. That's the core thing.
Yeah, and. Well, the first time I listened to it, I was either on my way to or from a gig, and I was like blown the fuck away by it. As far as like that, someone pulled it off, and it was like not dog shit. Like it seems like one of these things, like I'm gonna do metalcore with country, and you're like, what?
Are you, bro? Kid Rock?
Yeah. Are you right? How good could that be? And then here I am looking like an idiot. So, but I listened to it a few times after, like, okay, now this like initial shock has worn off.
Yeah.
Let me really try to listen super critically. I know the sax solo is coming, so I won't be like so surprised I can't drive. Yeah.
That's funny. The way it was introduced to me and had me, and I built an image in my head that I thought was weirder. I think I have like the same reaction, but from like a mirrored perspective, where I was like, well, hold on, this is less weird than I thought. And so I had that first listen was like, I truly like this. Let me listen again. And now that I know what to expect, what's going to happen? And then continually, it grows and grows.
Yeah, I was listening for like what's going on here? Like what is he pulling off? Like instrument wise, like what are these riffs? Let me listen really closely to that bass drum pattern.
What is he pulling off? That's such a fun phrase. Like at the end of a song, it's like, did he just bullseye that? Like, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Let me get that on the replay.
Roll that back 30 seconds. He did. What?
He stuck that landing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know. I know we've been talking about this for too long, but.
Did we have something else we needed to get to today?
No.
Great.
But I don't know. It's just, it's captivating me and holding on to me in a way that I would have never guessed. And so in all of my critical listening of like, what's that? Is that a banjo roll back there?
Yeah.
Like trying to do that kind of thing. it just grows on you the more you listen to it. So it's like, fuck, this is a good ass song, dude.
It's great. The
Do you
worst
have
songs
a favorite
on the
track?
the worst songs on the album are like better than most songs.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
Favorite on the track. Hold on, I gotta get the track list on my head. It's gonna be in my recently played. Everybody, don't worry. Here
They'll
it
find
is.
it quickly.
Found it already.
Siri's just like, do you want to play this again?
Oh, it's playing something right now. It was playing Billie Eilish at me. Hold on, I stopped it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, man. There's so many great ones. I very much like 2016 Cavaliers, and it's not just because it has Ohio in the parentheses.
Okay.
The riff in there really, the chorus riff really sings.
Yep.
I don't know. I shouldn't say.
I really like.
There's so many good ones.
I really like All Gas, because it's in 12/8.
Yep.
I think that's rad. Doing metalcore in 12/8. But yeah, Better Hell is probably
Better Hell is the one that you pull out, right? Like if you need to show somebody that, like, well, so Apple does the thing where it puts a little star next to the. I guess those are like the singles or the suggested kind of things, and the first 4 tracks are what they've starred on this one, and I agree with that. Like I think you could pick any of those 4 to show to a friend, and if they make it through the first song, play the rest of the 4. And then they'll either be hooked or they will go, okay, cool, and then move on. And they're not the audience, right? You know what? There's a ton of it's all the guest features on this. I actually am realizing right now in this moment, I have a bunch of new artists that I need to go check out because of these guest features, right?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Yeah, I think Empty Handed is also one of the favorites. Yes. I think for me, it's because of all the ghost notes on the snare. There's so many. It's just, I'm like, that's the bit that's selling it. Like, not that I would dislike it if it wasn't there, but I'm like, God, that is just the part that this needed to be perfect.
It's the more cowbell of this particular song.
Yeah, but not even in a more is more kind of way. In a, there's so much to it. And the video is just shot on a friggin' GoPro, like using AirPods for playback. Yeah. Right? It's just friggin' 2 guys on a ride-on lawnmower. Fuck you.
Hold on. Pause a second. We had internet hiccups, but I heard most of what you said. And I don't want you to keep speaking into the ether. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I think we're synced up again. Okay, great. We're synced up again.
Well, I had no latency on my end. That's hilarious. Good. Okay.
Yes, it's fine.
Do you have a thing of the week?
Kind of seems
or
like
do you have
I
more
should,
to say
huh?
about Bill Murray?
I shouldn't have more to say about Bill Murray, and I should have a thing of the week. I'm going to look around frantically.
Yeah. My thing of the week is this Novo Voltor
guitar.
V2.
That's a cheat. You cheated.
Fucking yeah, dude. Rock and roll, baby.
Shit.
What's
That's
that
right.
riff? Yeah. There we go.
I think there's definitely some Nashville tuning on that record, though. Some of the acoustic layers
maybe.
and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's not the main riff, but it's anyway. Whatever. Why am I talking about it again?
Because it's so good.
Yes.
This has provided. This has provided our country, our people, right?
Yes.
The earth.
The earth.
With
the human
with a
people.
Cultural contribution that cannot be matched. Like Civilization 7 is coming out, so I've been thinking about, like, do I want to get back into playing Civilization? And a culture victory is one of the ways you can win the game. I think Bill Murray
is
would
that
get me a culture victory.
Yeah. Yes. You're a mark on history.
Yeah, dude.
For sure.
I don't have another thing of the week, I think. I don't. I'm just looking through stuff. I got nothing. Yeah. My wife got a tattoo.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's my thing of the week. I guess it came out fucking great.
She looked like she did fine.
She did well. Yeah.
She had an appropriate level of nervousness at the start.
Yep. She was a little antsy, but she had a lot of planning and a lot of, I don't know. She knew very clearly what she wanted, which made it better, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
She was good about like having her expectations, in check, I think. Because the artist did the design when we got there.
So from description, like you were
from
like,
description, we were providing some reference images and stuff, and so he did it up in about 45 minutes, and she was like, "Yeah." So
it's a really beautiful piece of art.
It is outstanding. So, if you want to see it, come hang out in Discord. Haha. Come
to the Tone Control Discord to see that and other fun things, and those links are, of course, in the show notes, as you can rightly expect them to be. And I'm also going to say that the Patreon link is there, but the names in Discord have gotten so out of hand that I can no longer be held responsible for what's going to happen.
There's like 3 people with a name about a Novo.
There's like 3 people have. I don't want to stomp on the culture. Speaking of cultural victories, I don't want to stomp on the culture that has erupted from our Discord, but especially since the people's colors, they get a role and then they have a color, and then suddenly somebody does a nitro boost of the server, and then it's like now they have a different color name, and now I don't know who the fuck they are because the color was the only thing I had to go on before because the name changes every 6 hours. So anyway, all I'm saying is, all power to you, but I don't know who you are. And that's fine.
Lean in, baby.
Yeah,
you don't need to know. You just need to know how to mention them,
I just start typing, and hopefully Discord, if I start typing what I know their actual username is, then it comes up with the fake one for me, so that's good. But anyway, you can, you dear listener, can join the Discord and have fun with us and
change your name immediately if you want.
Play jokes on me, Wait till I speak to you one time and then change it is probably that's going to be the peak effect.
And also some are very committed to the bit and changing their profile photo as well.
Yeah, that's true. At that, I've already looked away. You know what we discussed and then didn't swing back to was what our next contest would be. Do you want to preview some of that? Because I think we had stumbled onto a phantasmic idea.
That? Oh shit, that's right.
Okay, so the gist of it was that it would be
do the opposite, basically.
It was sort of do the opposite. It was a riff contest, right? And people would. Okay, there were things that I thought were very fun about this riff contest, but there are things that I think we could do better in a more cool way. And so what I wanted to create was, and this was sort of gestated around the idea that it would be the worst riff instead of the best riff.
Yeah. So wait, okay, no, here it is. Then we landed on, let's do another riff contest, but there's a prize for first place and for last place.
Yes.
Right, and so then but like TBD, right? And you won't know what it is until it maybe arrives at your house or something.
So, and then I think we were we're continuing to riff on that a little bit, and I think tell me what you think of this, dear listener. I think I'd like to do a voting, kind of like we did before, a weighted ranked choice voting, and throw a little prize that's going to be like a swag bag or whatever. It's going to have some stickers and a beer koozie in it. It's not a big deal prize. It's something we're just going to mail out to like the first place and the last place, because I think that's fun and funny. And then we'll think of something with a little more significance, something that we're actually going to like purchase with Patreon money. And that's going to go to like a random drawing from the participants. Because I thought
you were going to tell me you wanted to give a big prize for fourth place.
No, the most middleist riff. No, like what I want to say is like, everyone please participate, because like the people who did participate last time, they got that from us. They got that what we wanted was please participate. There wasn't a lot of like, well, I'm not an expert, so I'm not going to dip my toe into there.
Yeah. So I like this idea that like the award for skill presentation, I guess, of like a coolest riff or something like that, is something lower stakes than the hey, you entered. Here's the big prize.
Right. It's kind of bragging rights and stuff. We're still going to do the thing because I think it's fun and cool, but I don't want to.
Right. I don't want anyone to feel excluded if you're like, oh, I'm not that good. I can't write a riff. I call bullshit. Like you can, and I want you to. And submit it to the thing, because
if I was submitting, like, I'm not a very good guitarist and I hardly play anymore, and if I was submitting a riff to something like this, my only chance of winning would be to outproduce all of you. You know what I mean? So, like, you got to understand, like, I'm not going to beat friggin' Eric at a riff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to beat Derek at a riff, or, you know, but I would try to, like, put something into it and it would make it fun. But yes, I think at the end of the day, like,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. All right.
Well, to make the thing that's like, make the bait just participating, not first place. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So we haven't picked out what the next prize will be.
Another bit for this was like choose an artist. Everybody write the most AC/DC riff you can. That's not an actual AC/DC riff.
I think we should incorporate stuff like that too. Too many choices last time of having all these different drum beats. So we should focus back in on one and make it a little bit more genre based,
so
right?
How about we have like a riff thing, and then like the theme is randomly applied. Like this month's theme is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Like this month's theme, like we could do something like that. That might be
We're trying
fun.
to shake everybody off your element, right? Because you'd have to participate in 12 of these things before we're going to stumble onto the one that you've already got in your head, right?
Yeah, right. Like, write your best friggin' Iron Maiden riff. Like, oh
yeah.
Or the Shins, like whatever. I don't know. Come up with something. So that might be fun.
And when I say do your best Iron Maiden riff, if yours doesn't sound like Iron Maiden, I'm not going to kick you out of bed about that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to say try. And if we get one that doesn't sound very much like Iron Maiden, we're just going to chuckle about it. And it's going to be part of the contest anyway. I would love for them to try, and it'll be very fun if they don't quite hit it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that might be fun. We could do like we should find a way to schedule more giveaways. Like, here's our calendar year of giveaways.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
All right. So let's I think we could do that. Let's plan on starting. Let's just commit. I'm just going to commit myself. Let's plan on starting one on the next episode we record. So we're previewing it now so that we can collect in Discord between now and the next time we record, which will give everybody like a week. We'll figure out what's the theme that we're going to start with, and then prize is going to be like a gift card to whatever. We'll come up with something. We're going to have to start reusing stuff we've used before.
Of course,
at some point.
That's okay. But like, I think people would still be down. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, audience. Things like a few packs of strings from Stringjoy, or like stuff from Honey Picks, like people we've done before. Rattlesnake. I was actually just thinking, I might need to buy some new Rattlesnake cables soon, because
we'll check in
believe
over
it or not, Justin, believe it or not, the 10-foot cables I bought in a 2-pack from reverb.com for $9 finally died.
Oh, I was going to say they turned out to be not long enough, because I was thinking, wouldn't I have given you shit for ordering a 10-foot cable?
I like the 10-foots when I'm here at my desk. That's the only reason I use them. I do not take them out of the house. Like, they're just
Wait, so they died at your desk?
I've had them. Sorry, I did not mention I've had them since like 2011.
Oh, okay.
So
I was like, holy shit, dude. You're rough at your desk, bro.
No. But they've moved house like 100 times. They've been on like every recording, every time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they're my office cables because they're short. I don't have a lot of room in here, whatever. But now my 15s are out, and it's like, shit.
Yeah.
There's some cables everywhere.
Oh, too much cable. Okay. Okay, so we'll pick out a theme. And it'll be like a riff in the voice of X. And that'll be cool. Okay. We'll get contributors to help us decide on a theme. We'll do a little poll. Discord has polls. We can do it like that. Make it easy. Okay. That's it. We're done. That's it. We're done.
Good podcast, man.
Good podcast. I had a lot of fun, and boy, did the first 50 minutes we spent on Bilmuri just fucking whipped by my face at the speed of light. I was like, I looked
really
at my
deep
clock.
on that.
I was like, it's been
Yeah.
over 40 minutes and I still have several things to say. So thank you all.
My second point.
Thanks to all the listeners who came on this journey with us today, and especially thanks to our patrons who are
Here we go.
you friggin' gemstones. Rabbi Bob, Weg Might, Carson Ricketts, Matthew Fenslaw, Ryzen Wolf, Begow 69420, Andrew Walsh of Andrew's Alcove, Sean Wright of Lollygagger Effects, No Novo.
Does this make me an influencer?
Yes.
Actually, this does? Okay. I'm down.
A lot
Ride
of
this
Novo
wave.
talk, and it's purely
I'll
your
ride
fault.
this wave. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hey, man. See you next time.
See you next time.